The best road bike shoes deliver a superior combination of power transfer, fit, comfort, and good looks. But getting all of that in one pair of shoes comes at a price, typically north of 400 US dollars, 350 pounds, or 400 euros. Some of us can't wrap our heads, let alone our wallets, around spending that much, even after considering the added speed and enjoyment we can get out of a pair of the best road bike shoes. But less expensive ones typically aren't as stiff, may not fit as well, or be as comfortable, and can look less exciting. To help you assess the price-performance trade-offs when deciding between new road bike shoes, I rode in the next best, 40% less expensive models from Shimano, Specialized, and Trek over 6 months. In this video, I'll tell you how they compare with their higher-priced siblings, ones we've ranked among the best, and how they compare with each other. Hi, I'm Steve from In the Know Cycling, the independent, ad-free, sponsor-free YouTube channel and website dedicated to helping you decide what gear to get next and where to get it. Okay, let's roll. The Shimano S-Phyre RC 903, Specialized S-Works Torch, Trek RSL Knit, and Trek RSL Road rank at the top of our reviews of the best road bike shoes from over a dozen brands that we've tested. For the last 6 months, I've been riding the Shimano RC 703, the Specialized Torch 3.0, and the Trek Velocis road bike shoes. Each one is just a step below its siblings in the brand's shoe model hierarchy. These next best shoes still have many of the design and aesthetic characteristics that serious roadies look for, including stiff soles, dual BOA dials, and quality materials. But they're priced around $250, 220 pounds, and 250 euros, or about 60% of the price of the top performing models. Now, to be clear, the Shimano RC 703, Specialized Torch 3.0, and Trek Velocis are not simply lower priced, less promoted, most of what you need options to their more heralded and more expensive siblings that wave the top of the range S-Phyre, S-Works, and RSL banners. Instead, I found that the fit, comfort, and style of these next best road bike shoes are different enough from those of their best road bike shoe siblings and each other in important ways. And that makes choosing between them a decision that needs to be based on more than just their brand and price. Shimano's S-Phyre RC 903 is one of our highest rated and one of my 2 personal favorite road bike shoes. It has it all: a wonderfully sculpted heel cup, smartly placed top-tier BOA dials, laces, and guides, and Goldilocks levels of toe box room, ventilation, and insole arch pads. The result is a comfortable glove-like fit that, along with the unbendable outsole, makes for exceptional power transfer for road racers and efficient comfort for long-distance riders. In my opinion, its sleek lines are quite attractive, and its distinctive blue and red and other glossy colorways really pop. The Shimano RC 703 shares some important DNA with the S-Phyre RC 903. Perhaps most importantly, the shoe's last, or mold, seems the same between the 2 shoes. I also couldn't tell any difference between the outsole stiffness of the RC 903, which Shimano rates a 12 on its unexplained scale. All cycling shoe manufacturers are guilty of this, and the 10 rating Shimano gives its RC 703 outsole stiffness. The BOA closure system and its dial lace and guide placement differ only slightly. Both use the BOA dials that allow you to push down to engage and pull up to release the tension in the wires. But while you can turn the S-Phyre RC 903 dials out to tighten and in to loosen, the RC 703 dials only allow you to tighten them. You have to pull up the dial to loosen the tension fully on the RC 703s. The S-Phyre RC 903 dials are also a little taller and have a more tactile finish than those on the RC 703. I found the RC 703 less comfortable than the S-Phyre RC 903 during the summer months. The RC 703's uppers are made of a thicker, less pliable material. And while the 2 models share the same pinhole ventilation pattern, there's a smaller mesh area above the middle toes for heat to escape in the RC 703. Below your toes, The S-Phyre RC 903 has a cutout in the carbon outsole covered by a fine wire mesh screen. The toe and heel sole cutouts on the RC 703 are similarly sized, but the rubbery covering near the toes has a less open area than in the RC 903. These design differences in the upper material, mesh area above your toes, and the outsole cutouts may explain why my feet felt warmer in the RC 703s on hot or humid summer days. On cooler days, ventilation in the RC 703s is not an issue. Staying with the comfort theme for a moment, if you have pronounced or sensitive muscles and tendons that run between your ankles in the front or anterior area of your legs, you know the feeling when a long or stiff shoe tongue rubs up against it. I have that issue with just my right leg and find some shoes far less comfortable than others for this very reason. Shimano is apparently onto this, at least with the S-Phyre RC 903 shoes. Those shoes have a pliable rubbery edge at the end of the upper with a clever set of ribs and a mating friction pad to keep the crossover strap from sliding up toward your ankle. In contrast, the RC 703 has a stiffer, leather-like edge and nothing clever or at all to keep the flap from sliding up except tightening down the BOA dial. I got used to the feeling, but I really didn't love it. When it comes to fit differences, the S-Phyre RC 903 comes with insoles that you can add medium or tall arch pads to for added support. Shimano doesn't appear to sell just those insoles with the wedges that you could add to the 703s. Instead, plan on spending about $40 for a pair of aftermarket insoles like the Body Geometry or Superfeet ones, and drilling out some vent holes to align with the holes and the vented areas in the RC 703. I've not ridden the RC 703 long enough to rate its overall durability or how its uppers may wear compared to those of the S-Phyre RC 903. I've already experienced added scuffing around the outside of the heel cups, however. There are far smaller caps around this area on the RC 703 shoes than those protecting the heels of the S-Phyre RC 903s. The key differences between the styles of the two models is the choice of colorways and their finish. The RC 703 was introduced with black and white matte options and a sage green semi-gloss finish. In contrast, the S-Phyre RC 903 is blingier, both with its color choice and with the glossier finish. What's my bottom line on these RC 703 shoes? Well, if you prefer a glove-like fit with ample toe box room in your road bike shoes, you don't ride in hot weather, and you're willing to give up some styling to save a big chunk of change, well, the RC 703 is a solid alternative to the S-Phyre RC 903. And it's $250 US, 220 pounds, or 290 euros. You'll save a lot of money compared to the Shimano top-of-the-line shoes. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my videos don't have any ads or sponsors. Instead, it's supported by viewers like you. So if you find this video helpful, please consider helping me cover the costs of doing these reviews for you by using the affiliate links in the description box that will take you straight to the pages where you can buy these and other shoes I review in this video. Thanks very much. Let me next compare the Specialized S-Works Torch and the next best Torch 3.0. The S-Works Torch seems to have followed a go big or go home design strategy. Compared to the prior S-Works 7 model, the S-Works Torch toe box is rounder and roomier, and it's wider at the forefoot and heel cup. Specialized also got rid of the Velcro strap that was intended, unsuccessfully in our experience, to snug the shoe's width just beyond the balls of your feet. Perhaps consistent with the roomier theme of the new last, they also didn't extend the lower wire laces and guides to do a better job of what the strap was originally intended to do. Specialized also replaced the Dyneema upper of the prior model with a more supple and breathable one on the S-Works Torch that rivals leather and knit shoes for comfort. My fellow tester Nate, a veteran of the S-Works 7 and S-Works 6 shoes, loves all the changes in the S-Works Torch. He and I wear the same size shoes so we can test them when they come in for review. He especially likes the S-Works Torch's wider heel cup and shorter edges below his ankles, which make it easier to get his feet in and out of the shoes while still keeping his heels down on the upstroke. I didn't like the lateral movement I experienced in the S-Works Torch's wider heel cup that led to some blistering during my testing. And neither of us is a fan of the unique dials that BOA has supplied Specialized for its last few S-Works shoes. Their shape and texture feel wonderful between your fingers and make ever so slight micro adjustments easy to do. And while Nate has gotten used to it, I fault these dials for requiring you to fully unwind them and sometimes needing to remove the laces from the guides to get your feet out, rather than just being able to pull the dials up when it's time to extract your feet. In contrast, I happily wear the Specialized Torch 3.0 during spring and fall. Not only is it priced $200 less than the S-Works Torch, but the Torch 3.0 wins me over with features that prevent me from enjoying all the other goodness of the S-Works Torch model. First, the Torch 3.0's heel cup isn't nearly as wide as the one in the S-Works Torch. It follows the shape of my heel, wider at the bottom, narrower at the top, and uses comfortable padding in the upper half to keep my heels in place. Second, the Torch 3.0 uses regular BOA Li2 dials that fully release the tension in the wires when you pull up on the dials. While the shoes don't have any ventilation slots below your feet and only pinholes above them, the uppers are made of a tough thermoplastic polyurethane with a braided texture. The material isn't as supple or as breathable as what Specialized uses on the S-Works Torch. Its stiffness also causes the outside edge above the tongue to pucker below the lower dial. But in my testing, the Torch 3.0 has resisted scuffs quite well. If your feet don't prefer as much ventilation as mine during the summer, the Torch 3.0 can be a year-round shoe for you. There's also enough room to wear a thicker sock without any change in comfort during the shoulder seasons of spring and fall. The Torch 3.0 carbon outsoles feel no less stiff than those of the S-Works. Its heel pad is also integrated into the sole and is considerably larger than the one on the S-Works Torch. That gives me more assured footing walking around the garage floor or pursuing a tasty mid-ride pastry. Yes, the insole on the Torch 3.0, like the S-Works Torch one, is a joke, but at least I don't resent spending another $40 on top of the $450 I've paid for the S-Works Torch for a real footbed to put into the Torch 3.0. What's my bottom line with these next best Specialized shoes? Well, I'd buy the less expensive Torch 3.0 ahead of the S-Works Torch, even if they were priced the same, just to get the benefit from the better fitting heel cup and the dials that fully release the tension when you pull up on them. All the roomy goodness from the midfoot to the toes is carried forward on the Torch 3.0. Similar to the other next best shoes in this review, the Torch sells for about $250, 210 pounds, and 290 euros. And you can order them straight from the links in the description box below. Now, before I move on to the next set of shoes, please hit the like and subscribe button if you want me to continue doing more of these ad-free and sponsor-free cycling gear reviews. When you do, you'll get the word out to your fellow cyclists and motivate me to keep bringing you these independent reviews. How about the Trek RSL Knit, RSL Road, and Velocis road bike shoes? Well, Trek's approach to its next best and best road bike shoes is as different from Shimano and Specialized as the individuality of the Trek shoes themselves. They each fit and look like they came from different design shops. The Trek RSL Knit delivers the best power transfer, fit, and comfort I've experienced in a road bike shoe. Its outsole is rock stiff. Its variable upper stretch zones, closure components and placements, and heel cup shape combine for a sock-like fit and comfort. And its knit upper and multi-slotted outsole create a wonderfully ventilated sensation. They feel and look quite special and expensive, and at $500, 450 euros, and 400 pounds, they are both quite special and expensive. With knit uppers in the stylish white color, it's best to wear the RSL Knit on sunny days when the temps are above 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees centigrade, and the roads are clean and dry beneath your feet. So these are more for special days out than as daily drivers, unless you're lucky enough to live in a climate that's warm and dry year-round. The Trek RSL Road, with its more conventional synthetic upper, is a functional and aesthetic descendant of the company's Bontrager XXX Best Road Bike shoe, only even better. It has more toe box room than the XXX and even more than the spacious Specialized S-Works Torch or Torch 3.0. For those with wider feet or ones that swell during a ride, or if you have bunions or other unique features on your feet, the uppers have a stretchy material that Trek calls MetNet, which is short for metatarsal netting, that accommodates the needs of your feet from the metatarsal area back through your midfoot. The uppers and outsoles are also very well ventilated, causing Nate to call these summer shoes, and me to claim they are just right for three-season riding. The shoes have a conventional, wide tongue and boa closure system that gives you good fit adjustment down through the forefoot without any hot spots or limits to your toes. At the same time, the RSL Road's heel cup shape closely follows your heel's width from bottom to top to keep it from moving laterally or vertically throughout the pedal stroke. It's important to note that both the RSL Knit and RSL Road run larger than the XXX shoes and most of the other best road bike shoes that we've reviewed. But the observations we've made about both the Trek RSL shoes are for ones that we've tested that were a full half size smaller than what we normally wear. For me, the RSL Road is a roomier shoe than I prefer. Nate likes it as much as the similarly priced Specialized S-Works Torch. The next best Trek shoe, the Velocis road cycling shoe, is as different from the RSL Knit and RSL Road as they are from each other. First, I fit into the Velocis in my regular size shoe. Second, it has none of the overabundance of forefoot and toe box room you get in the RSL Road, or the generous amount that you get in the Specialized S-Works Torch and Torch 3.0. Instead, it has a glove-like fit that is more similar to the Shimano S-Phyre RC 903 or RC 703, with not as much toe box room as those, but enough to be comfortable. The Velocis has the same MetNet technology built into its uppers as its more expensive siblings, but the Velocis version doesn't cover as much area or stretch as easily. The Velocis heel cup is sufficient to keep your heel in place, but does so more with its padding from the middle of your heel up rather than with any sculpting shape that starts at the bottom of your heel. Disappointingly, there's no added protection around the outside of your heel or around your toes. It does have a wide, well-padded and well-ventilated tongue and Li2 push to engage, pull to disengage BOA dials with wires and guides that run down to the forefoot and do a nice job of comfortably tuning your fit. The uppers have a durable feeling textured finish and small rectangular or tripod-like shapes cut into them for ventilation. That seems enough to cool my feet despite only two tiny vent slots in the outsoles. Those outsoles are a carbon and fiberglass composite rated 10 out of 14 on Trek scale. They seem stiff enough for me, though probably wouldn't be for a road racer. The insoles, like those coming in most of the other shoes, are next to useless. Bottom line, while it's hard to get excited about the Trek Velocis performance, fit, or comfort after wearing the RSL Knit and RSL Road models, there's no denying that these Velocis shoes are very capable and very well made. They're shaped and fit more like conventional road bike shoes, but the perforation patterns give them a distinctive look. In addition to black and white, you can also get the Velocis in bright red, a color that will stand out to cars and fellow riders alike. The RSL shoes, on the other hand, only come in white and black. Comparing the next best road bike shoes to each other rather than to their more expensive family members comes down primarily to the fit and style that you prefer. There are also differences in ventilation, outsole stiffness, BOA systems, and scuff protection. They're priced essentially the same. They're all pretty well made, have durable uppers, and useless insoles. So here's my summary of the key characteristics of the next best road bike shoes. Shimano RC 703, glove-like fit with ample toe box room. Superior forefoot adjustment, but loosen only when you pull up on the dials. Stiff tongue edge, poor hot weather ventilation and scuff protection. Modern burrito type styling, but basic matte black and white colors, unless you like a semi-gloss sage green. Specialized Torch 3.0, roomy toe box and midfoot, durable upper and stiff outsole, good heel hold and scuff protection. Pull up to release BOA dials, but can't tighten across the midfoot and some puckering there. Questionable ventilation. Basic black and white shoes with a moss green colorway. Trek Velocis, traditional fit with comfortable enough but no extra toe box room. Composite sole, distinctive looking, well ventilated, tough upper, but no toe or heel protection. Bright red colorway option in addition to black and white. I hope this video will help you decide what road bike shoes to get next. If so, be sure to like and subscribe and check out the links to the stores I recommend that carry these shoes. I'd also love to read and respond to any comments you have, and be sure to check out some of the other videos shown beside me. Thanks so much for joining me. Glad you could do that, and see you in the next video.